Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Dwood here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my 2022 summer makeup routine, how to keep your makeup on for 10 plus hours. For this video, I decided to dip into my professional makeup kit and grab some summer essentials so that I can show you guys how to keep your makeup on this summer because the heat, not playing. It's been super hot here in Georgia, like 10 a.m. it's already hot, and then after it's hot it starts to rain, so then it's like really humid and it's just hot. Before we jump into this video, go ahead and make sure that you are subscribed. Turn on those post notifications. I never say that, but I see, like, when I look through my analytics, I see that some people have their post notifications on, so go ahead and turn those post notifications on so that you're notified every time I upload. So if you're interested to see how I keep my makeup looking flawless all day long, then go ahead and stay tuned. Let's get to it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. As you guys already know, I'm gonna be showing you guys my summer routine, how to keep your makeup flawless, matte all day. My mom is here. You want to say hey?
Hey people, how are you?
I did a face mask this morning because with this new acne that I have, the face be dry. I'm trying a new lip plumper today that I actually found at the beauty supply store. A very impulsive buy, but you know how that beauty supply do. It gets you. This is called Lip Plump High Shine Gloss by Absolute New York. Tried it out earlier and it definitely did plump up my lip, but well, it tingled. It didn't plump up my lip, and it definitely didn't tingle as much as the Too Faced one. Y'all know that's my boo, but she like $30. That's a lot. So even though it's summertime, you still want to make sure that you're moisturizing your face. Me, I have pretty combo skin. I'm not too oily, not too dry. I have a little breakout slash rash on this side of my cheek, and I also have some like active acne on my forehead, unfortunately, but we are still gonna moisturize. Y'all know I'm going in with my favorite moisturizer ever, the Water Bank moisturizer by Laneige. Well, now it's called Water Bank Blue Hyaluronic Cream Moisturizer. The name is too long for me. I'm gonna just call it cream liquid, what I call it? Water Bank Moisturizer. So I found that when I'm working with a more matte foundation base and just overall matte look, if I don't moisturize the right way, my skin just looks dry. Like, it's not even giving matte, it's giving dehydrated and dry. So I always make sure to moisturize my face even when I want a more matte makeup application. To further moisturize my face, I'm gonna go in with the 𝐒𝐓 All the Feels facial oil. This is another one of my absolute favorite products. I use this oil literally every single day. The more and more I use this oil, the more I feel like it's really good for the summertime, because it's an oil but it's not too oily. Like, it doesn't feel extremely oily on the face. You know how some oils feel really thick and sticky? This one does not feel like that at all. I kind of want to call it a dry oil because I feel like it dries down on my face, which I really do like. So because we are going to be going in with the very mattifying primer, I suggest letting your moisturizer sit and really settle and dry down into the skin, because mixing these two textures together, sometimes it'll cause your primer and your moisturizer to kind of clump together and peel, which is a no-go. So let your moisturizer sit for a bit and then go in with your matte primer. So for the first primer, I'm gonna go in with the Mehron Skin Prep. It is like a liquid toner. That's what they describe it as on the bottle. So I like to use a cotton round and just put a couple drops on the cotton round and then use it like a toner. So I like to hit the spots that tend to get the most oily. So for me, that's gonna be mainly here, around my nose, a bit on the forehead, you know, the T-zone area, the chin, down the nose. I really just want to focus the product kind of on the apples of my cheeks and in this little weird crevice of my nose. It does feel kind of weird. It feels like a tightening face mask or something, but it's not unbearable, and it definitely starts to loosen up as you kind of put, you know, the rest of your makeup on top of it. So the next primer that we're going to go in with is a more thick cream. I don't even know how I would describe this texture. I guess I would describe this more like a thick mousse. Not really sure the consistency I would describe this as, but it's definitely really creamy, really thick, and really moussey. This is what it looks like. And you don't need much. okay? Now, these two products definitely came out of my professional makeup kit, so you know it's good stuff. So with this primer, I'm just gonna disperse this evenly on my fingertips, because with that Mehron underneath it and putting too much of this in one area at one time, it'll start to cake up. This stuff leaves a white residue, so you definitely don't want it to cake up and leave a white residue. So try to spread it as thin as you can on your fingertips. And I'm hitting those same areas. I kind of look like, what's that man called that be on the beach? A lifeguard. So let's go ahead and move into the actual foundation now that we have the skin prepped and primed. So I personally don't like to use a matte foundation with two matte primers and all this stuff. It just gets too matte, and like I said, you end up looking more dehydrated and dry versus flawless and matte and smooth. So today I'm going to be going in with the Rare Beauty foundation. In the summertime, you really don't want to be putting on too much foundation, especially if you're planning to be like out in the elements, out. I would try to choose a foundation that gives you a lot of coverage, and a lot of coverage can really just be however much coverage you feel comfortable with, without it feeling too cakey or too heavy. Like, y'all saw how much foundation I just put on this side, and it's already covered up my whole entire cheek. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of foundation on my forehead. Hopefully this will be enough to cover my whole entire face. Well, not really my whole entire face, but the parts that I didn't cover already. So before we move on to the next step, I'm gonna go in and spray my face down with a matte setting spray. Today I'm using the Milani Make It Last Matte. I actually bought this to try on clients, and I actually really like it. So I want to go ahead and move on to blush. Y'all know I've been fiending for these Rare Beauty blushes. I'm telling y'all, Selena really showed out with this foundation, the blush, the concealer. Like, she really did her thing. That's all I'm gonna say. So this is the matte formula, and this orange one that I just used is called Love. I don't mind getting sloppy with this because I still have to do my that was way too much. I still have to do concealer over top of this. I'm gonna take Grace and put this more so on the apples of my cheeks. So let's go ahead and move on to concealer. Today I'm gonna be using the Pro Longwear Concealer from MAC. If you know, then you know. If you OG, then you know. This concealer, basically, it does not budge. It dries down really quickly, and that's that. So I'm in the shade NC50. That's what I'm gonna be using underneath my eyes today, and then I'm gonna go in and brighten it with a different concealer. It does come with a pump, so you will have to kind of pump it out on either your hand or something. You gotta pump it out. With this concealer, you do not want to let it dry down too much, because if you do, it won't move. It's happened to me before. I'm going in with my same bronzer stick that I typically use. This is the Fashion Fair foundation stick in the color Cherished Cocoa. So before this concealer dries down too much, I'm going to go ahead and take my beauty sponge, and this sponge that I'm about to show y'all is from Dark Skin Makeup Daily. I'm not even trying to say the abbreviation because I always butcher it, but definitely check the description box for all the products that I'm using. I'm going to start on my forehead because I do want the most coverage from this concealer to be underneath my eyes, and as y'all can see, I low-key waited too long to blend this out because I'm having a hard time trying to move it around. That's what this concealer does. I can see let me just move on. I just played myself because I know that this concealer does that. So why didn't I try to move a little faster to blend it out? To blend out my bronze tour, I'm going to use the same brush that I used for my blush. Now to go in and brighten my under eye just a little bit, I'm going to be using the Pat McGrath Lab Skin Fetish Concealer in the shade M20. I love the finish of this concealer. It's not matte, but it's not too satin. It just looks amazing. And I've paired it over top of this concealer before. So good. I'm just gonna do a little bit underneath my eyes and down the bridge of my nose, mainly because if you do decide to get a little too hot and you start sweating in the summertime, I don't like to have too much stuff on my forehead, so I try to keep the product minimal on my forehead. If you are one of those girls that can get away with no foundation on the forehead, kudos to you, but I'm not her. For the summertime, I feel like I'm definitely more of a sponge girl, mainly because sponges are going to help to kind of soak up any excess product. Obviously, the more product you have on your face, the hotter you're going to get, the hotter your face is going to feel, the heavier your face is going to feel. So I would always recommend using a sponge just to kind of help soak up some of that extra product on the face. And y'all know I'm a brush girl. This sponge is also really dope too. So let's go ahead and set the face. Now, I've been seeing everybody use the triangle makeup puffs, powder puffs. I don't have no triangle one. I have a round one. So we gonna use that. Let's try it. Y'all know this is Bay, the RCMA no color powder. But I've been hearing a lot of girls say, and dark skin girls too at that, say that the one size ultimate something powder, the translucent one was really good underneath the eyes. So I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna put some into the cap and kind of bend my powder puff a little so it can fit better. Grab some. If you're using any type of puff or sponge, I would always recommend patting off the extra product on the back of your hand or a paper towel or a cloth or something, just so you don't have hella powder just sitting underneath your eye, because it's not a good look. So this is my second time trying the one size powder, and honestly, it looks no different than my RCMA, to be completely honest. But I'm gonna keep trying it and see what the hype is about, because right now I'm not seeing it. And this sponge is really not picking up too much of my makeup, which I'm happy about, which tells me that I didn't have too much extra product just laying on my face. So to set the rest of my face, I'm going to be going in with the Danessa Myricks the Evolution powders. And this is in the shade number 4. I love these powders. For the summertime, you definitely want something that's going to feel lightweight. Same thing with the foundation. Gives you the coverage that you need without it feeling like, ooh, I got on hella coverage. All this. To me, it doesn't really feel like I'm wearing anything on the face. The wig feels heavier than the makeup. I don't really want to put too much of this powder, even though it is a very lightweight powder. So instead of using the powder puff, I'm going to go in with a very big and fluffy brush just to make sure that I'm not putting on too much powder at one time. So even though we're going for a matte look, you don't have to put a whole bunch of powder. The goal is to just layer product by product and make it kind of like a recipe, like your own special little concoction. So for bronzer, all I'm doing is taking my powder bronzer and placing that on top of my Bronze Tour stick, the Fashion Fair foundation stick that I used. I personally like doing my whole base with cream because then I don't have to use as much powder. And with the cream, it's gonna just last a little longer. You know, sometimes the blush is the first thing to disappear. Blush and bronzer for me are two of the first things that disappear. So to me, in my mind, it just makes it easier if I do everything with a cream and then set it with the powder versus doing a blank foundation canvas and then trying to put all the definition back into my face with powders. Number one, it's gonna feel like you're wearing 10 times more makeup than what you actually are. You're gonna feel it a lot more, and it's not gonna last as long. But for the summertime, I would highly recommend doing everything with your cream and then setting it with your powder. That's if you want a flawless face though. I kind of want a blush that's gonna match my hair. So I think I want to do... Alright, so for blush today, I think I'm going to use MAC Raisin. If you know, you know. She is OG. I used to be in love with Raisin. I used to think Raisin was the only blush I could ever use. I used to be in love with Raisin and Frankly Scarlet from MAC. To really make sure that all this area here is blended out and smooth, I'm gonna go in with the Charberry. I can't talk today, y'all. The Charlotte Tilbury. I don't even know what this is called, but it's something airbrush. I'm gonna put the name here and definitely check the description for all the products that I'm using. Okay, so I'm taking that Charlotte Tilbury powder that's real popular in the shade 4. And so like I was saying, I don't like to be too matte. I like matte, but I don't like it to be too matte. So instead of going in with that Milani Make It Last matte setting spray, I'm going to first go in with the MAC Fix Plus. This is not a setting spray. This just adds moisture back into the skin really and kind of helps melt the powders into the skin, which isn't really the best idea when you're wanting to be more on the matte side, but I like this because it takes that powdery look away from my skin. Alright, then I'm going to go back in with the Milani. I still have a couple wet spots on this side, but that's fine. I'm going to go in with the matte makeup setting spray now from Milani that I've been using this whole video, and that's just going to go right down the center. Alrighty guys, so this is the base. I'm going to go ahead and do my brows and my eyes off camera, and then we'll come back and do the lip, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, so this is our finished look. Before I let you go, I actually want to give you guys another pro product. I know I showed you guys the Mehron Skin Prep and the Nurturing Force Cream. I don't even know what they call this. Blot Out Offensive Shine and Oil Cream. I don't even think I told y'all the name of the product in the video, but I know that I showed y'all these products in the video, but I also wanted to introduce you guys to the MAC Skin Refine Zone Cream, I think they call it. I just have a little sample of it here, but I've literally been using this for years. I ran out of it a couple years ago, and I just thought about it again when I wanted to film this video. So I decided to go ahead and pick up a sample of it, and it's still so amazing. I don't use this under makeup. I like to use it over. So when my face does tend to get a little oily, I take this product, and you can use a small duo fiber brush like this. You want to grab a little bit of the product. I actually think I'm going to show y'all right now. It's liquidy, but it's not too liquidy where it'll just come out and it's not thick enough to be considered a cream. But I just grab a little bit of this. I'm going to just put it on the back of my hand just to be sure that it's even. And you don't need a lot at all. Like, I accidentally grabbed too much, so I'm trying to get it off of my brush because you don't want a lot of this product at all because it is a liquid. And if you're trying to put this on top of your makeup to touch up and kind of up those excess oils, be sure you don't put too much. Actually, I'm going to zoom you guys in. Okay, so I'm not really oily enough to actually show the power of this product, but I guess I'll do it on the tip of my nose. So you guys see that there's some shine on my nose. I'm going to take this brush that has that Skin Refine Zone from MAC on it and just tap over it. Can y'all see how it just sucked up those oils? I'm going to do it right here too. Let me add. Oh, you can even see it on my hand. How it has mattified my hand. This stuff is so dope. Oh my gosh. So can you guys see the difference between this side and this side? It's so dope. I wish I had a little bit more oil to show you guys. Definitely an essential for the summer. Check it out. All right, so I zoomed us back out so that I could go ahead and close off the video. I just want to say thank y'all so much for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in time and time again. Thank you for subscribing, supporting, commenting, all of that. Shout out to all of my new subscribers and to all of my OGs. The hair is red. I don't think I mentioned that at all, but yeah, girl. Anyway, I'm rambling on and on. Y'all know how I do. That is all I have for you guys today. I will see y'all in the next one.